Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Bicker Podcast. I'm in here with my guy, Philosophy King Nico. How you feeling, my guy?
Man, just enjoying today. It's a wonderful day, good vibes, and
Good vibes.
uh,
Good vibes.
just happy to be here. It didn't go the best in fantasy, but in actual
Right.
football, it's going pretty nice.
Yeah, I see your I see your Patriots, man. They got another dub against the Texans.
You saw that?
How that got you feeling? I did. I did see
Oh,
that.
okay. Okay, just checking.
How that got you feeling?
Hey, you know what? One more game. It's just a game. It's another playoff game. Glad to be
Okay.
there, right? Glad to be in that moment and in that opportunity, but not satisfied. Not
Mm-hmm.
definitely not satisfied. We got a tough matchup coming up. Very tough matchup. Another top defense, and we're gonna have to travel, even though we do pretty good traveling. But that's just that's just in the past. It's gonna be this next game coming up, and we're gonna have to tighten some things up. Right?
Right.
It did not look. It was not a pretty win. And Sean Payton is a good coach. So and Jarrett Stidham, man, he can be a stud. And so we just can't expect this win to already be given to us. We're gonna have to take it. So just preparing for the next opponent. Try not to get too ahead of myself.
Yeah, just breaking news real quick. Looks like the Chargers are going to hire Mike McDaniels as their offensive coordinator.
Ooh.
Um, so that's something to keep a look on. It says they're expected to, hasn't been official yet, but
Okay.
um, that's what the expectation looks like to be. But yeah, so we got the games this weekend were pretty good. Well, I will say
Yeah.
the
Three
it
out
was
of the
about
four. 3 out of the 4 were good.
3 out of 2.5. Like the Texans and Patriots game was a good game, but it was just it was so many turnovers, bro. It was a very
Defense. It's a
defensive.
defense game.
It was a very defensive battle.
Yeah.
But I will say the Chicago Bears and the Rams game and that Bills and Broncos games, they both went into overtime.
Mhm.
Those games were lights out. We can start off with the I'm gonna go with the least of the few. So 49ers, Seahawks. I didn't
Yeah.
expect the Seahawks to blow them out like that. Like, that was kind of crazy watching that. I mean, at some point it catches up. The injuries catch up with you,
Yeah.
right? When you play a team like the Seahawks, who have a very stout defense, they're the number one seed. They're playing at home. Everything was going well for them. You kind of gotta have one of those crazy games, and they just couldn't do it. They didn't have the guys to do it. So the injuries caught up with them, and they got blown out. And it is what it is. But it seems like they're always injured. It seems like the 49ers are always injured. Like I don't get it, but maybe it would have been different if they weren't injured, but it's hindsight now. Seattle moves on, and they got to match up against the Rams next week. What you got to say about this game?
Yeah. I mean, you know how we always talk about like offense coordinator, if something goes wrong with the offense, or if something goes wrong with the defense, we talk about the defense coordinator. For the Niners, it would be interesting to track who is the fitness coach. Now, I know I'm not the guy to be talking about fitness because I'm not exactly the poster boy for that. But like, right? Isn't it? I mean, think that's a position, someone
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that the players are, fit or going to be okay. Keep it in mind the wear and tear of the body, especially with everything that's done today. I mean, look at Tom Brady, the way he's been able to play for so long, and some of these other people. I mean, literally now we have enough science where what is it? An MCL, an ACL it's not the doesn't end the career.
Mm.
So what is the Niners doing in that aspect that, as you pointed out, it's like 3 years in a row where they've just had injury after injury after injury, and it's just killed them each time.
Yeah, I think if they haven't looked into the like the conditioning staff or
The strength and conditioning
strength
coach.
and
There we go.
conditioning staff and
Yeah, yeah,
making sure players are, properly, loose and properly stretched and properly in shape to play on Sunday. If they haven't looked into that in terms of, maybe looking elsewhere or firing their guy and bringing somebody else in, if they haven't already done that, this is the off season to do that. Because like you said, 3 seasons in a row, something got to give, something got to change. There seems like they're always injured, bro. And it's their good players too.
always.
It's not
Yeah,
just like backups, it's starters, it's their quarterbacks, their wide receivers, it's their linebackers, it's their starting whatever it is. And they usually can circumvent, but it's never enough to get them over the hump.
yeah.
So at some point you kind of somebody gotta pay.
The one
So
that stood
maybe
out to me was when like Greenlaw,
yeah.
Jerry Greenlaw got
Well,
injured.
Drake Greenlaw, yeah, that was last year. Because he's with the Broncos this year, but I think
Hmm.
you're talking about whatchamacallit this year. I
Fred
forgot his
Warner,
name. Fred Warner
yeah.
this year.
Linebacker
Which is
position
yeah,
again.
he's their best player on the team.
Yeah,
And he missed ample amount of games this season. So at some point you gotta look at the strength and conditioning coach or do switch something has to change
something.
at some point because this isn't working. So
What about Sam Donald? Has he?
he has. Sam Darnold looked good. I mean, granted, they blew them out. Their defense was crushing the 49ers didn't have any offense. So it's hard to like grade him the way I want to grade him, but at least he didn't shit on himself,
Yeah,
because I'm used to
yeah,
seeing Sam Darnold shit on himself in these moments. So I got to give him grace. But he's going to be playing the Rams in the playoffs next week. So we're going to get a really good look at the real Sam Darnold because the Rams are going to score. They're pretty healthy. We'll see about. Well, no, they're healthy. Devontae Adams took a hit last game, but he's going to play. And yeah, they're going to be healthy over there. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play against them. But Sam Darnold, for now, he is starting to change my mind because this is his first playoff win.
yeah.
So if he can get another win against the Rams and make the Super Bowl, I'll start to put more faith in him. But before this past weekend, I just haven't seen it. So
And one injury that I think is really important to highlight um, going into this weekend, Zach Charbonnet, person
yeah, he's out
who
for the season.
he's out for the season. Someone who I think is, definitely a difference maker. Someone that helps Kenneth Walker catch some breathers here and there.
Hmm.
It's going to be interesting what they do. I think that's something to look at, but we'll see. We'll see.
We'll definitely see. But they got Kenneth Walker, who is a really good running back as well. So I think he'll be able to fill in pretty well for Zach Charbonnet. They kind of had a good balance. But now Kenneth will be taking the bulk of the carries. So
Yeah, it's like I remember how in the beginning of the season, uh, I was doubtful of how Gibbs was going to perform when they were saying that they were going to give him more of the possessions,
mhm.
and I was like, well, David Montgomery really provided some moments for him, but I mean, look at Gibbs. Gibbs shut me the fuck up. Credible season. So hopefully Kenneth Walker can kind of replicate the same.
Right.
Mhm.
Um.
All right, next
So
game.
next game. Let's go. Let's go with the Patriots. Let's go with the Patriots. The Patriots
You
and
sure
the
you don't want to do
Texans.
Bills Broncos?
Now I want to save that because I want to get into the Bo Nix injury and then I want to get
Okay,
into the Caleb throw.
okay, okay,
That's
okay.
gonna take time. But the Patriots defeated the Texans. Um, I don't know what Caleb Williams has been doing these past 2 weeks, but he ain't. It don't look like he's a
You mean
real
CJ
NFL
Stroud?
quarterback. CJ Stroud, my bad, not Caleb Williams. It doesn't look like CJ Stroud's a real NFL quarterback right now. Like I don't know.
That's so crazy to me.
Granted, his offensive line isn't the best.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
understand that
How is that not louder than CJ?
because you don't have to turn the ball over. If his offensive line isn't good, take the sack or throw the ball away. He's turning the ball over. He's making bad decisions. Is the
Okay.
point? You don't have to make those decisions. Just because you have a bad O-line doesn't mean you have to force the ball into double coverage. Right? So
Mhm.
that's my whole thing with CJ Stroud. Especially when you got a defense like that. Just don't if he doesn't turn the ball over, it's a different game, right? You're in the game. That you guys were up what 8? And at that point he had 4 turnovers in the game.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like if you don't turn the ball over, if you don't throw those picks, if you don't try to like last week, um, he fumbled twice, and those fumbles were on him. Now, granted, the offensive they got to him pretty quick. Offensive line was good, but he tried to make a play and put the ball in harm's way, and then he ended up fumbling it. If the
Yeah.
pocket is closing and you know the weapon you got on the other side, don't force it. You know, there's no point to force it at that point. Just take your L. You know what I'm saying? You're still well within winning the game. So
Mhm.
that's my whole thing with CJ. Hopefully he learns from it. But I've been saying it all season. Patriots defense is very underrated. They're top 5 in points allowed this season.
Mhm.
Shout out to Shrieking Genius Dubs in the chat. Dubs in the chat.
Hey,
Your top
hey.
fives and points allowed this season. I think that's I'm not surprised by the play from Drake May. For me personally, I'm not surprised. The surprising thing for me is how quickly Vrabel got this defense to play like that, like on time, like rally to the football, disciplined defense, run stopping defense. The way that he got him going, man, I'm frankly surprised. I knew Vrabel was a good defensive coach, but this quickly, I didn't know it would mesh this well. So, um,
And something to point out is not just meshed that well, but with people that we brought in, because we really just turned.
Kevin, Chase on,
Yeah, like
you
we got rid of everyone on the defensive
mm-hmm.
side, really, and then
Milton, you brought in Milton Williams too. Yeah.
we brought in everyone that made a big play in that game was like either acquired through trades or drafts or free agents. So um the it's really incredible because like most of the time maybe one or two work out, but not all of them, you know. And one like
Mm-hmm.
Spillane was something that was like, oh man, he's on the older side. I know he's good, but I didn't expect him to be the juggernaut that he's become, right?
Right.
But yeah, hats off to the defense for sure.
Yeah, the Texas defense was playing pretty good too.
Hmm.
Um, Are you concerned going in to
Hmm.
play the Broncos, knowing that the Broncos can play on the same level as the Texans, but they have a better offense than the Texans? Are you concerned at all with how your defense is? I know Jarrett Stidham is going to be starting, but are you concerned at all with how your defense will hold up and how your offense will play against the Broncos?
Um, Maybe a little, yeah, but not necessarily that I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about us beating us than I am them actually beating us.
Right.
I
Okay.
don't think the offensive is actually going to beat us. What's going to beat us is if we take this for granted and are go in with the mentality of, oh, we're already going to win because it's Stidham. Like, no, Stidham has had a good game. Now, granted, that was with Josh
Yeah.
McDaniels, right? You know, who used him as the starter for the Raiders, but like Stidham he gets paid. He plays football, right? I know at
Facts.
first, in our group chat, I was talking a whole bunch of mess, right? But honestly, like that's what worries me is that we're going to relax. We're going to be like, oh, we got this, and then we commit some stupid fouls, um, and we just really don't tighten things up because we expected this to be kind of like an easy win. So that's what I'm more afraid of us losing it again than I am actually their offense like performing good.
Yeah, that's my whole point with the Broncos because I can't remember his name. I'm forgetting his name right now. The Broncos head coach, Sean
Sean
Payton.
Payton.
He's what you would call a offensive savant. I have no doubt that they're going to have Jarrett Stidham ready to play. The system that he plays, like Bo Nix plays in the system. Like he's not going around making crazy Caleb Williams passes every week. He plays in a system. They like to roll him out of the pocket, throw in a run, and if it's not there, go ahead and use your legs. Stidham isn't as good of a runner as Bo Nix, but he fits that system. He's been in the system all year. He understands what he needs to do. That's why I feel like I say don't count him out. With that being said, I got the Patriots winning, but with that defense, with Sean Payton on the offense, and he can draw it up, if the Patriots don't come to play, they're going to lose this game if they do not come to play. So that's going to be a very interesting AFC matchup because I feel like everyone's writing off the Broncos because Bo Nix is out, and I feel like this is when you get surprised if you're not ready for it. I think Vrabel, the type of coach that Vrabel is, and Stidham was already on the team, and he knows like what Stidham is, and so the Stidham kind of knows the Patriots offense too, so it's a double-edged sword there. But I think Vrabel is going to have the guys ready. I'm not worried about the team not coming ready to play. But it's kind of going to fall on Stidham's shoulder if he can limit the turnovers, if he can do the things that he needs to do. They'll have a chance to be in the game. But it's one of them games we got to see because as good as Drake May has been this season, he hasn't necessarily been lights out in the playoffs. So I'm not expecting Drake May to come out and have a crazy 300 pass game and 3 touchdowns. It's going to be another defensive bout. It's going to be a slug match of defense, and whoever can limit the turnovers is pretty much going to walk away with the dub. So, moving on. Speaking of the Broncos just finished the game against the Bills, which is a great game, great game. It's unfortunate that Bo Nix injured I fractured his ankle on like the second to last play of a regulation and overtime. Third play, which is kind of crazy. Because I remember when I saw it pop up on my feed, I was like, wait, this has to be. I was looking at like the handle. I was like, this got to be like a fake name. But it wasn't. It was real. So he's going to be out. And that's kind of crazy, but it sucks because he's not going to get. He brought the team all the way here, and he's not going to get a chance to really play. But one thing I have been seeing on the Bills side of things, have you noticed that, at least from my perspective, the fans have been a lot more comforting to Josh Allen. Oh, I feel bad for Josh Allen. I feel sorry for Josh Allen. Let's be honest. If this was Mahomes, Lamar Jackson,
CJ
if this was anybody, if this was anybody who had 4 turnovers in a loss like this, they would be on their neck. And I like Josh Allen. I was rooting for Josh. Josh Allen is a dog. He's probably the best player in the NFL at this moment, or one of the best players, right? But we got to call a spade a spade. Josh Allen had 4 turnovers this past weekend in a game where they went into overtime and had a chance to win. He didn't play well. He didn't. So we got to keep it a buck. He did let his team down. That's why I understand why he was crying in the post game. But he was one of the reasons why they did end up losing this game. And his coach kind of got scapegoated because of it. But at the same time, I feel like the problems with the Bills start with the front office. I've been saying this for 2 years now. Why have they not brought in a legit wide receiver? Like, why? You have the best or one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and you have yet to bring him a real receiving weapon other than his tight ends. Like that's not good enough. Like think about it. That pass that everyone was talking about to it was like, oh, is it an interception or was it a
Brandon
catch?
Cooks, yeah,
Brandon Cooks. If that was a legit wide receiver, could that play have been different?
like Stephon Diggs.
Like that's my whole thing. Like and I'm almost done too. But I'll go back to the offseason, this past offseason, when the GM was talking about somebody had asked them like, why haven't they brought in a real legit wide receiver on the radio show? Do you remember that?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he was like, he kind of got upset about the question. He was talking about all the other guys he brought in. I'm like, bro, you're doing your quarterback a disservice by not giving him a weapon. And that was the number one thing, reason why, in the grand scheme of things, why they lost the game, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have weapons. And then the second thing is just Josh Allen he just played bad. But with that being said, they still had a chance to win. But you can go ahead.
So I mean, I'm pretty aligned with you on that. Brandon, he got a promotion. He got promoted.
Yeah, he did. That's crazy.
Right? And this is a guy that had a top wide receiver, then let him go. This is a guy that was talking about, let a lot of the defense go. I think maybe 2 years ago, and really never. I don't think he really recovered from that on the defensive side. When they had Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde back there, they kept Matt Milano, but they got rid of Tremaine Edmonds, who is now on the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
They brought and they've tried to bring in an old pass rusher to be that person that maybe does a couple plays and when it counts. Hasn't panned out exactly as they wanted to, even though Joey Bosa did. He did okay. He did
Mm-hmm.
okay in that game. He did what he was like kind of expected to do. Um, but yeah, I mean, and I think what's wild to me, to your point, is this is a guy that, or this is a GM that had, I think they had like the 27th pick or something like that, where they could have gotten Xavier Worthy, right? Not saying that Xavier Worthy is like a top wide receiver, but they traded out of that, right? Out of getting someone that who knows what we're talking about, right? It was Worthy
Yeah.
and Allen. But they picked up, they waited another round and then they picked up Keon Coleman, and he hasn't panned out, right? So it's hard now. I think
Mm-hmm.
what saved him is James Cook.
Yes,
But
he's been the MVP this season of that team. He's
so
been
so I
great.
think that's what saved his job, and because of that, yeah, they scapegoated with the coach. I don't know. Like it's going to be really interesting to see who they bring in. Someone floated a name that I hate, that I hope it's not true, but who knows? Mike Tomlin. But I mean, that's on everyone's list, right? You look at any
Mike
team,
Tomlin's he's gonna take
he's going to
at
be on
least a
everyone's
year off.
list.
I think he's gonna take at least next year off, at least. But we're
Okay,
gonna
but
see.
yeah. So, but I mean, still, like, if you're gonna leave the coach that, let's be honest, has brought success to that team, because before him, nothing, right?
Nothing.
Now you're putting all your ducks in a row with Josh Allen. You're saying Josh Allen is the guy. Whichever coach comes in is gonna have to really rely on Josh Allen to kind of help set up the team or get the team set up the system and everything. So it's going to be very interesting to see who they bring in.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting what they do in the off season. But from my experience, these types of moves either end up where a team begins sucking for 5 more years, maybe 10, or if they are lucky and they can hit on a couple players on the off season, then they can get right back into it. But man, I just don't. It's gonna be all on the coach. The only thing that I think is really helpful that's like kind of random is that they're going to a new stadium. So it's like a
Yeah.
complete new. This is a new era. This is going to be all new, even the coach. So I think that's going to be one thing that's going to be kind of like people may not think about, but it sets up a like kind of a new vibe. So we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
that's we'll definitely see what happens. I do want to say, as long as you got Josh Allen, there is always a chance. Just depends on if he shows up. And I will say most of the time he does show up, but this past
Mhm.
weekend he just didn't play good. He didn't
Except
play
for in the
winning
playoffs.
football. And but I will say he does usually play good in the playoffs, but he doesn't always make it win. Like he doesn't he has yet to make it to a Super Bowl, but that's the thing. But
So then where
um
does that go? Because if he's playing well, then are we saying it's the defense? In which case, then okay, then it proves the point that Bean right needs to really figure out what's he doing with that defense, or and get him a weapon. But like you
yeah.
can't get everything. You can't fill every
Yeah.
position. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he
It's
prices.
it's it's definitely going to be interesting to see. Moving on to the Bears, we go. The Bears and
Yeah,
the um the Bears and the Rams. Woo,
mhm.
boy, that was a game. That was a game. You kind of feel like the luck had to run out with the Bears at some point. I mean, you can't keep winning these types of games down at the last second. You can't keep like waiting till play mediocre to bad to mediocre for 3 quarters. Then when it matters most, you come on and you make these, miraculous plays, right? You can't keep relying on that, right? So at some point it ran out, and it ran out um this past and I want to bring up this video.
Yeah,
But I'm
I
gonna
saw
let you go because I want to. So the game was really good. The game was really good, just like the Packers game was really good. One thing I before I get to the video, I don't understand at the end of um regulation, was it? I can't remember what it was. I think it was the end of regulation. It was one of the drives in overtime. Where I
yeah.
thought Sean McVay should have went for it on fourth down instead of punting. Yes, it was the end of regulation before they tied it up with the touchdown.
Mhm.
They had ran it like 3 straight plays and they didn't pass it at all. Like they didn't put it in Matthew Stafford's hands to kind of go and win the game. And I started to think to myself, I'm like, Matthew Stafford injured? Is he nursing an injury right now? Is his finger okay? Because I'm like, why? It's like 2 or 3 minutes left. They have the ball. They're up 7, and they run it 3 straight times and then punt it away. I'm like, bro, do y'all not want to win the game? You have to put the ball in Matthew Stafford's hands and let him go win the game, right? So they ended up kicking it, and Caleb has that crazy pass, but great game, man. Great game for sure.
Um, yeah, I mean, great game all around. I mean, I think you hit it all. My one thing would be, I mean, when it's towards the end, you're just trying to eat up clock. Best way to do
Mhm.
that, run the ball. Um, and also, I don't think the wide receivers were, uh, how do I say it? They weren't performing as they usually were, right? I think like they held Puka to like uh, I don't know, like they weren't clicking until the fourth quarter.
Mhm.
So that probably was impacted the decision to do
Yeah.
that. And also, yeah, I mean, I think Stafford did injure his hand maybe 2 games ago or a game ago. So I mean, all those things definitely do factor in.
Yeah.
For me, what was it was I don't know what it was, but I think this was the first time where I saw Ben Johnson not look like Ben Johnson. Usually he's pretty animated with the boys. He still has his serious face, but he's like in it. This one, he just seemed to have like a poker face and did not move. Like, I don't know. There was something about him that just seemed like I don't know. I don't know. Just call it a vibe. Just call it a vibe.
Mhm.
I know Ben Johnson's the dude that's always going to bring the vibe, but
Yeah.
it was I can't explain. But there was just something whenever they panned to him, it
I
looked
think
like the dude. It looks like he was constipated. You know, not to
well,
be too graphic or mean, but like that's what it looked like. It looked like he was just holding it in, and just like really. It's like man, like he did not look relaxed at all.
from my experience, I do have a little bit of different experience to you and that because when I see Ben Johnson on the sideline, he does look more reserved. Now, I will say this past weekend, he did look like he had something stuck up his ass though. Like his shoulders were tense. He was like, he did look
Yeah.
like that. I will agree with you, but usually he does look more relaxed when he's calling plays. He's talking, he's moving, but he's just more mellow tone. But this past weekend, he looked like he was like about to burst a little bit. I will say
Mhm.
that. But I think Ben Johnson, and he talked about it after the game. They had a chance to go for two when after that Caleb Williams touchdown. And in the moment, I didn't think they should go for two, but in hindsight, it's always those hindsight thoughts that get me. In
Right.
hindsight, when I think about, damn, maybe they should have went for two. They had the momentum. They're playing at home. They haven't necessarily played great all game until late. That might have been their best chance, and that's Ben Johnson's mo. When the game is to be won, he usually goes for the win. He already been going all day for fourth downs. Granted, he wasn't getting
Mhm.
most of them, but at that moment, that kind of felt like something Ben Johnson would do, which was go for two, but he just kind of decided not to.
Do you think that's maybe because of how it goes down with the Detroit Lions with Dan Campbell, because he's seen the other side of that, where he's seen a coach in the playoffs decide to go for two or decide to go for it, doesn't pan out, and then everyone's shitting on him. Oh, the dude he needs to know when to be the coach and
But I
understand
think that's
that in
Ben
that
Johnson's
position.
MO too, though. I think that's Ben Johnson's his mentality as well. That's why he was such a great fit for when he was over there with the Lions. But I think what really went into it was that they had just haven't been successful on fourth downs. What was it, Saturday, Sunday? And I think that
Sunday.
kind of fed into why they ultimately didn't go for it. But
Yeah,
if that's your mentality, you got to stick to your mentality, man.
for sure.
But I do want to talk about this play
Let's go for it.
from Caleb because I'm not gonna play this whole video. So Kurt Warner put out a breakdown video of what happened, what didn't happen on this interception play. People were blaming Caleb. They thought that, um, he kind of made a bad pass on this play, but some people were blaming DJ Moore because he should have flattened his route out when he didn't, and he kind of was lollygagging his route. He didn't run it full through. In my personal opinion, I think the blame goes to both players, but I think Caleb Williams should shoulder most of the blame, and this is why. Break it down for you. So I'm not going to go too much into the X's and O's because I'm not a coach. I'm not a, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go too much into schemes and everything. But for me watching and knowing what I know about football, DJ Moore is right here with this little arrow. You can't see my mouse, but you see him up to the right of the screen. He's the furthest Chicago player to the right,
Mhm.
right? And he has the little arrow pointing down. So in my mind, if I could just play this, I want to
DJ,
play it for you.
know it's there.
You can't see the
Yeah.
mouse, by the way, just so you know.
Oh, okay. I can't see the mouth. You see
Yeah.
how he's streaking. You saw how he started running. If I go back, he's going to start running. Right there.
Yeah.
So based off of his trajectory, he's heading towards the pylon. Now he's going diagonally. He's trying to take away that top safety, and he's going diagonally. But Caleb throws the ball down here towards the sideline. He flattens it out. So I'm not sure how they tell the wide receivers how to run these plays or how they want this play to go. But if I'm Caleb Williams, I'm at the 50-yard line, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 1st and 10. I do not need to force anything downfield. That's my whole point about it. You can say it's on DJ Moore for not finishing his route and not doing this, yada yada. You can say it's Caleb Williams for it was a bad pass. He threw it late. He wasn't on target. But at the end of the day, if I go back before he even throws the ball, before even that, you do not need to pass it. You have a 5-yard check down to Kyle Monangai and just take the check down. Go to 2nd and 5 and take the check down. Take what the defense is giving you. You don't have to force this pass over here where you're not going to win the game in one play. Just take the check down. Now, if the check down wasn't there, he had no out and he's about to get sacked, I can see why he would throw it there or just throw it away. But that's my whole thing with this play. I felt like he did not need to even pass. He didn't even need to make this play when he had a guy open with a check down. So that's my whole thing. I do give DJ Moore some of the blame. I think I give him about 40% of the blame because I believe he wasn't running full speed on this route. I feel like he could have put a little bit more effort into the route. But I can't give him any more blame than that because I don't know if he was supposed to continue running to the pylon to take the safety away, or if he was supposed to flatten his route out onto the 30-yard line and head to the sideline. I don't know because that's where Caleb Williams threw the ball. He threw it to the sideline, right? He threw it over here to the sideline. But DJ Moore clearly wasn't headed that way, right? So I don't know what it was, but I do think Caleb Williams has to take more of the blame on this play, unfortunately, because I just feel like he didn't need to make the pass. Coaching, I think it was a good play. That's the thing. I think it was a really good play. And I even think the play would have, let me go back because I think the play would have even worked if Caleb Williams would have threw it sooner. If Caleb Williams would have honestly threw this pass a little bit sooner, like if he would have threw it when, I want to go back more. Okay, right here. If he would have threw it like right here, where he's like at the 30-yard line, and if he was supposed to break, it'll be on target, it'll be on time, yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, he was never really open because this safety, you can see my mouse, right?
Yeah.
This safety is lurking on this the entire time. He's shout out to I forget his name, but he's a former Washington Commander. We should have kept him in my opinion, but he made a great play. He sees the play. He just knows what play is coming, and he saw it the entire way. And that's the thing with Caleb. You didn't need to make this play. It's not like it's 4th down. You didn't need to make it. Just take what the defense is giving you. So I just want to hear your thoughts on this. Like, how did you win? Because I know, did you watch it live?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know how you thought about this interception. Did you blame Caleb or?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would say he's gonna get. I would agree with you. Like at least 55%. He's the one that makes the choice at the end of the day. He's the one that throws it, right, based off of his reads and everything. And I would say this is. I mean, but I don't think it's necessarily something that he needs to dwell on, except for the fact of going back to what you said earlier. Take what the defense gives you. Now, I forget if they had timeouts or whatever. But like, yeah, like not only is Mangai there in the middle, but I think there's another wide receiver, the tight end over there at the end zone of the 50, also open. And if you let it play a little bit, like you'll see that cornerback turns his back to him.
Yeah. Right there. But the ball's out of, so before Caleb even throws it,
boom,
he does have Kyle Kmet. Yeah, he does have Kyle Kmet slightly open right here that he can get it to, and he also has Kyle Monangai right here. Like that's
right there. So I mean, but that's a growing pain. Like that's something that he has to learn. You know, I mean, this is a playoff game. There's a lot of pressure, right? So
this is my thing, though. I agree with you that it is a growing pain. But there's one caveat that I can't stop thinking about is that this is the same issue he had in college. Am I wrong? Like at USC.
Yeah, yes.
Did he not?
I mean, yeah, but like again, this is just another thing that if it pans out, greatest throw ever.
But that's the thing that separates
Like the one
Tom
before
Brady.
the touchdown that saved it.
But that's the thing that
No, he should
separates
never
Tom
have done
Brady
that.
and Peyton Manning and the greats from they always make the game easy. They
Sure.
always take what the defense gives them. That's what separates the greats. And I remember distinctively when he was at USC, especially his last season, because he didn't play that well, but he still went number one overall. Is that he struggled with making the easy passes. He felt like he always needed to play hero ball. In this one play, kind of, and I know he's just I'm not shooting on, don't make it seem like I don't want to make it seem like I'm like putting Caleb down, but I want to emphasize that this isn't like just this one-off thing. Like he's struggled with this for years dating back to college. So that's kind of one of the things that I'm like, will he ever realize, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to get it all in one play. So hopefully
Well,
he
I
does.
think, and I think he has, because I mean, look at the growth from last year. I mean, he's grew in that department. He has grown within this year. He's in this new system, right? I just think the pressure got to him, and to your point, he reverted back to what he does, which
Okay.
in this case is try and make an all or nothing play. But again, like this is second year, he made it here. Now he's next time. I think he'll be a little bit more calm headed about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't blow this. I mean, obviously it sucks because they lost and everything, but I wouldn't. I want to make more of it than what it needs to already be made of, right? Like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
a perfect example of, hey, you still got some things to learn, and as you said, like,
Yeah.
take the easy check down.
It's yeah. I'm a I'm kind of a Caleb Williams fan. He from the DMV. He from the same place I'm from. I wanted to see him like do good, but it's like, damn, they were so close. And it's like you're at the 51st and 10. Like you're set up to have
Yeah.
one of these another one of these moments to go to the championship game. And it sucks. But you're right though. He made crazy strides this season. They've been playing with house money all year. They have a talented offense. It's only
Young one
it should
too.
only yes, young weapons. They have young weapons. DJ Moore's probably gone, but that's okay because
Yeah.
they have Luther Burden, and they still have a Dunze. They don't need much more than that. So it should only go up from here. I will say, as long as everyone stays healthy. But yeah. All right. Before we get up, you got anything else to say? You want to add
About anything in general, or
anything in general?
I'll save it for after what you want to say, and then maybe it'll come to me.
I was just going to talk about the matchups this weekend.
Oh, you
When
want
do
to
you
do
want to
that
save
now?
that for? We can save it for Thursday because I want to hop back on with you. We can save that for Thursday, but
Let's save that for
um,
Thursday. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we can go ahead.
Okay. The only thing I would say is, as we're nearing the end of football season, and looking onto other sports, I'm gonna definitely be starting to get locked into the NBA more. So we'll be able to start talking about that more.
Yeah.
And this summer is gonna be a packed summer. So we got the World Baseball Classic going down, and we have the FIFA World Cup. So
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely going to be some big moves. But I wanted to get your thoughts before we leave on if you watched the Miami Indiana game.
I did. Oh, that was a great game, bro. That was a great game. I
It
mean,
was,
Indiana. Shout out to Indiana, man. They
yeah,
really are playing on some like Madden or NCAA football career mode type stuff right now. Lemon says I heard this summer is going to be a lot of hot girl summer. I think I heard the same thing. Shout
yeah.
out to the hot girls during the summertime. It's about to be real hot girl ish.
There you go.
Stuff going on. But back to the game last night. Indiana, man. Nah, shout out to Signetti, man. I remember when the first time I heard of this dude, and I saw this like video going around of him like Google. He was like, Google me. The thing is, he was like, the thing about me is simple. I win. Google me. I was like, dog, who are you, bro? Like you coach at Indiana, like no one's checking for you for real. And he proceeded to shut me up because dude went undefeated. I think his first season at Indiana was last season, right? And they
Yeah,
barely missed the playoffs. They had like two losses or two or three
yeah,
losses.
Yeah.
and they narrowly missed the playoffs. And this season they go undefeated. So shout out to Cignetti, man. He's a dog, bro. He know how to coach football. And guess what tree he came from? Nick Saban. Saban, man. A lot of coaches come from Saban, man. But yeah, he's a goat for doing this, bro. Miami, they're talented. They've been on like a Cinderella run this whole playoffs, but they ran into a juggernaut and they played their ass off. Honestly, like it was a point in time in this game of all right, Indiana's about to pull away. I don't see how Miami's going to produce points. And then in the second half, they proceeded to have 3 straight touchdown drives to stay in the game. And their quarterback, I forgot his name.
Mendoza.
No, not in Indiana. Miami's
Carson Beck.
Carson Beck did Carson Beck things. I hated the way that game ended, Bear, because I wanted them at least to have a shot at the end zone. And
they did. They were close.
They were on the 40, 30. I think.
They were under 30 or 40, or like 35 at least.
But the pass, though, like it was such a letdown pass because he's doubled. He had a high safety over him, and he had a cornerback there, and the pass was terrible. I don't know if it's miscommunication or what, but I just hate it. I hate when games end like that. It's just like, oh, that's how it ends. Bad play. Like I wanted it to be like a good defensive stop or a crazy catch, like something like that. But they fought their ass off, man. Both sides. The running back for Indiana, Black, I love the way he runs. He runs like a goddamn maniac, and he's like fast as hell. I like the wide receivers for Indiana, Surratt and the other guy over there that kept catching the comeback, not the comeback, but like the semi back shoulder catches that he had. He had like 2 of them.
Soranki or something like that.
Yeah, I forgot, but Miami was good too, man. That true freshman they got over there, whenever it's his time to come out, he's going top 5 for sure.
For sure.
And Miami's defense played lights out too. I mean, they were in the backfield all game, sacking Mendoza. Desmond Bain, I think his name is. He's going to be a top 10 pick. But it was a great game, man. Both teams fought. Mendoza, as weird as he is, I think he fits the NFL. He's like, honestly, like his ceiling, like, let me say this because I'm about to sound crazy with what I'm about to say. So prep yourself. But Mendoza's ceiling, like total ceiling, could be like a Tom Brady with legs. That's what I see out of him. Now, granted, he probably won't be anything near Tom Brady, but like he kind of has a feel of the game, bro. Like when plays need to be made, he makes them. And he doesn't necessarily put the ball in harm's way. He doesn't make bonehead turnovers. I haven't seen that from him yet. So very good game, man. It's going to be interesting to see how Indiana plays next season. With a lot of their players are transfers and a lot of their players are old. They won't be coming back. But it's going to be interesting to see how that going forward. So I'm interested to see how the Big Ten reacts now that Indiana. I don't know if you saw the too early polls, but they have ESPN have ranked Indiana number 1 for next season. So that's going to be something interesting.
No. Well, I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Is Miami? What division is Miami in now?
ACC. I
don't think they're in the ACC anymore. I think they're in the SEC now.
No, they're not.
I think they switched.
Here, I'll find out my Hurricanes.
I'm looking it up now.
They're in the Atlantic.
Yeah, they're in the ACC. Yeah, you're right. My bad. I could have sworn they left, but who left the ACC?
Which, by the way, I do not want to hear SEC champion. I don't want to hear that.
I will say this.
I don't want to hear
it. SEC has 6 of the last 10 national championships.
Don't care. Don't care right now. Modern playoff time. Big Ten has won all 3 years.
The last 3, correct. But I mean, again though, like
Don't want to hear it.
SEC.
I don't want to hear it until they win a championship, back to back to back. I don't want to hear it.
Well, they did do that when Georgia won back to back, and then Alabama. They won in a few years ago back to back to
Okay,
back.
that's true.
But the thing
Not
is,
in
though,
this new
this is
playoff, not in UIL.
no. It's different. It's different
That's
now.
what I'm
NIL
saying.
got it different, and
This
NIL
is
got
a
it different.
whole new world.
So this is the thing. I love the NIL because we don't know who's going to be the best team next season. For real, for real.
Yeah.
It could be damn near Duke. I mean, it's really up in. I'm just naming teams, but it's really up in the air because now these schools, they can pay players to come to their school that would never have came there. And it's completely legal. I want to ask you this, and then we can get up out of here soon. As an Ohio State fan, how concerned are you with Indiana going forward?
None.
Really?
None.
Okay, why? Like you don't care what because Cignetti's about to get the bag from Indiana.
That's
for one.
fine.
And for two, he's going to be there for
Ohio State has deeper pockets.
A long time.
Ohio State has deeper pockets.
But that's the thing. Cignetti doesn't need the pockets.
Actually, he kind of still does.
I don't think so. He just needs the transfer portal. He literally just needs the transfer portal and a solid QB. We just saw it last 2 seasons.
We saw it, but one, Mendoza Jr., or not Jr., but his little brother has already asked for a transfer.
I think that's because they already know who's starting next season. Like Cignetti already knows who they have starting.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I mean, to your point, it's so hard to actually predict like which teams are going to be good and everything. But what I do know for certain is Ohio State, in regards to Ohio State's always going to be good. The history they have there, the culture that they have there, it's historic. It's like Michigan. It's
that's the thing.
That's so long.
I already know Ohio State's going to be good every year. But my thing is, are you concerned with a new good team in the mix? Because now, before it was Ohio State, it was Michigan. Some years it was Oregon since they came into the Big Ten. And it was but now you got to worry about Indiana going forward.
No, because now what that does is that allows Ohio State to bring better players too. Because now it's like, oh, now you get to test yourself against Indiana. You get to test yourself against Michigan. The two past, you get to test yourself against these college playoff champions. Oh, by the way, you also get to test yourself against Oregon or USC. Iowa, even Iowa gets a nod, right?
Yeah, Iowa got.
I mean, not Nevada, Nebraska. So like competition, right? Iron sharpens iron. So I'm not worried. Now, are they going to take some players? Sure, they might compete, but knowing that Ohio State will always have the deeper pocket, that's one thing that can will always help. But again, I think, and this might just be my stupid video game mentality, but conference prestige. I felt that Big Ten's conference prestige has fallen a little bit in years past because it was like, what big teams do you really got to face? Oh, Michigan and Ohio State. But now, right, Big Ten has grown that now we do have like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 teams that are really good that have Wisconsin. You can even throw Wisconsin in there, right?
I don't know about that.
Wisconsin has always been one of those that I feel like they tend to, like every year they give Ohio State a hard time or something like that. But yeah, no, I just think only good will come from it. Helps create a better competition, and people are going to say, you know what? I would join you, Ohio State, so we can beat Indiana.
I mean, okay. Okay. For me,
people joined LSU so that they could beat Alabama.
And how has that worked out for them?
I mean, right now both are dog shit. So I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm talking about in the Saban era.
yeah.
Signetti's journey reminds me of Saban. Remember he was at BG or was it Toledo?
He was at Toledo. Saban was in Toledo.
Urban Meyer was at BG.
Yeah.
And he was at IUP. And then
Yeah.
he went to James Madison and went undefeated.
Mhm.
And then he goes to Indiana and went undefeated. It feels like he's brewing up a dynasty type thing. Now it is early. He's only been there for
Yeah.
2 years, but those 2
Only
years
got
have been
3% left, but
those 2 years have been extraordinary. And then you go back to James Madison, they've been extraordinary. And then you go back to when he was at IUP UI, whatever school that was, they won championships. So that's all I'm gonna say. But if you're not afraid as an Ohio State fan, I can't tell you to be afraid.
At all.
But
We've had
that
a
was a great,
history of NFL players killing it.
yeah.
So, all right.
That was
I
a
hope
good
everyone
game,
has a good day. You know, it's been a lovely day. There was a lot of people at my work that was talking a whole bunch of smack on Friday and Thursday and all last week. So it's been really nice to see their smiling faces. And I still have some more people to see tomorrow. So
for the Texans.
yeah, there's so many people.
Yo, me and my wife,
many.
we want to come visit Houston. I've been to Houston already, but you gotta let me know some good food spots or something down there because we want to go for a few days just to come visit.
Okay,
sites,
let me know.
see the city. But yeah, I know it's a lot of hurt Texans fans. I wonder how they feel about CJ Stroud right now because last year
done, which is crazy.
Yeah,
people burn. Yeah, some people say, "Oh yeah, my uncle burned the shirt." Yeah, no, they got to get rid of him. He can't play. He's a bust. All this stuff. I'm like, but it's not like, yo, that your offensive line. Like, I get it, but the dude was scared. It got to a point where
I think he
snapped it, and he was already freaking out.
I think it's the offensive line is probably I agree. I think the offensive line is probably the core of the reason. Like it's gotten to a point where he's not confident anymore in his abilities. And that starts with if you can protect him, I think he'll start to gradually grow. Man, that defense is so good.
Because I mean, look, they were down, right? They started the year bad, and then they turned the page. And like CJ Stroud made plays, he made throws. Nico Collins helped. I mean, I think Nico Collins is one of those, like, hey, he has to be there with CJ. Or to your point, like how we were talking about with Allen, CJ needs a top wide receiver that he can just throw it to.
Yeah.
And Christian Kirk is not that. He's older, and Jaden Higgins way too young, and all of that. So yeah, but
we'll see. Hopefully their number one priority in this offseason is to get this offensive line figured out. But they should have never even let go of Laramie Tunsil. I understand he had a lot of offensive starts last season, but bro, that was your best linebacker. You know how hard it is to find a legit left tackle in this league? That shit makes no sense.
That's your building block. That is your building block.
That is your building block. That is your building block. So it makes zero sense. But hey, it is what it is. It's part of the league. So all right, man. I'm gonna talk. Hopefully we can meet up Thursday. We gotta see. Hopefully nothing pops up on my end where I can't do it. But right now, same time Thursday.
We're scheduled something.
All right, bet. Make sure you get your your medicinal things in before the stream, so we ready to go. Make sure you're not tired. Make sure you eat your vitamins.
I will.
So we ready to go because we're gonna have some things to talk about. And then next week as well, going into Super Bowl week. So yes, sir.
Bet.
All right, man.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Thank you for tuning in. Y'all have a good night.